Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Spooky and welcome to Tom Clancy's The Division Open Beta. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the aspects of the game. I'm going to try and cover all bases, so I really hope you guys enjoy. Thanks for watching.
Hi everyone, I'm Hamish Bowden, one of your community developers on Tom Clancy's The Division. Today, you're going to find yourself in New York, where a weaponized virus has been released during the crush of Black Friday sales. But before your journey begins, here are a few tips to help you survive and enjoy this experience. Our game is a cover-based shooter, which means you're an easy target if you stay out in the open. Move from cover to cover by pressing X and protect yourself during combat. Your character can equip up to 3 weapons, a primary, a secondary, as well as a sidearm. Double tap triangle if you want to switch to your handgun, and press triangle if you want to grab your secondary weapon. Our game is an RPG, and as such, skills will make all the difference in combat. Your character can equip up to 2 skills, and you can switch them out whenever you feel like changing playstyle. To equip your skills, open the main menu, go into the abilities section and press X to assign your skills to L1 and R1. If you want to surprise your enemy from long range, using grenades is a great idea. You can grab a grenade by tapping left on the D-pad, and once you've set its trajectory, press the right trigger to throw it and wait for the blast.
I'm checking it.
If you're running low on health, you can use medkits to get a quick health boost before going back into the fight. To use your medkit, press right on your D-pad.
Gotta draw him out.
The world map is an augmented reality tool that you can use to explore our open world. You can open it at any time by pressing the touchpad on your controller. Whether it's a main mission, a side mission, or just to explore, you can select your next objective by pressing X to set a waypoint and decide how to get there.
Is under siege from whatever criminals have taken over Madison Square Garden. We don't...
Okay, Agent, now you know the basics to stay alive, but remember, if you want to gear up with some of the best loot in the game, you'll want to venture into the dark zone. Be careful out there, and good luck.
Now that we have been given the basics for the tutorial, we now have the option to create our character. Now, it's just the basics for the beta, so you have male or female, and you can randomize. But I'm really excited to see what they do as far as being able to create your character in detail. So I really look forward to that. I see that there's hair and markings, accessories, so you can really make your character your own. So I think that's really cool. I look forward to that.
Hey! Just hold on! Come on back! I need you! Look, you're gonna be okay. Hell, at this point, you're more okay than me. Shit, that explosion took out the commander. We have a job to do. We're still gonna do it. It's just...
Landing in 1 minute. Should be able to see it coming up on my right. JTF-68 to tower, visual Hudson. Yeah, 2 division agents on board. The explosion was their right in. Okay, clear to land. JTF-68.
Usually you need some time to know if you can count on someone. Well, we're out of time. My bet's on you. It has to be. I hope to God I'm right.
Welcome to Hudson Piers. I'm not sure what you're looking to get out of this. Everything behind this gate is a goddamn war zone.
So who's in command here?
Captain Benitez was in charge. He was leading ops in the post office, but we lost contact when he left base this morning. If he's still radio silent by tomorrow, there's talk of pulling out.
No one's pulling out. We're taking this city back. Get whatever gear you need. I'll catch up with you.
Good luck out there. You'll need it.
The first thing I noticed after we landed in the helicopter was how easy it was to join your friends. Just a simple click of a button and you guys were together. So I think that's a really good aspect, especially for an MMO, to have a direct connection to the people you want to play with, because this game is designed to play with other people. So I really like that it's really easy to connect. Hopefully that carries over in the game, but for me it was really easy to play with my friends. Now, as far as leveling up goes, once you level up, you have like this skill tree type situation, and there's medical, tech, and security. Now, I think that's pretty cool. That kind of gives you the option whether, you know, if you have the playstyle where you like to be able to heal the party, or if you want to be able to protect the party, you know. So I really like this aspect. I'm going to talk more on the topic of the medical class later on, because that ended up being my favorite that I played around with. So I'll go in more detail later on in the video. Right outside at the first base that you come up on, Camp Hudson, there's this place for matchmaking, which I thought was really neat. So you can automatically jump into a party, whether it be free roam or the dark zone. You don't have to go wander. Now, the gestures I thought were pretty cool. I mean, you can't have an MMO without emotes. So there were a bunch of different types. There was salute, which I thought was pretty cool. And see, it's not just for cosmetic, you know. I mean, you can actually, it's a really good way to communicate. So if you, like, let's say you're in the dark zone and you come upon somebody that's going to send off loot in the helicopter, you know, that can be your way to like let them know that you're not hostile, you're not going to attack them. But it can also be a trick, so look out for that. This is us as we leave the safe zone. Now we are in not unmarked territory, but this is a hostile zone. So as you can see, I'm using the pulse ability, which was the first one that I unlocked for medical, and this ability is fantastic. I love it. It gives you a all-around view of enemies in the area. I'll talk more on that later on in the video. But you start out with a primary, a secondary, and a sidearm. So I thought that was really neat. It's versatile. It gives you lots of options on range. As you go down the streets in the different zones, you'll find civilians that are in need, and they'll give you loot like armor, and sometimes it's weapons, upgrades, and stuff like that. So that was really cool. As you can see, it's in appearance that I picked up a jacket, so you can actually give your character cosmetic clothing instead of just protection. So it gives you a little bit of an option to make it unique. Now, as we approach our very first enemies, this is our first contact whatsoever. I use the pulse ability, and as you can see, they're glowing red, and they're scavengers. Now, look, you see, when I shot him, he looked kind of like he was surrendering. So I'm not sure if if I could have pacified, like if they were going to be passive or not. I'm not sure. But as well as finding the civilians, there's also secret little, I don't know, boxes. There's also like ammo crates and stuff that you can find around the world. I thought that was really neat. Now, one of my favorite things is the ability to roll in and out of cover. So I thought that was really cool, because if you really need to get to cover quickly and you don't just want to run, you can actually roll into cover. So I thought that was really cool. Also, the environment seems to be completely interactive. Like you see, I just climbed up on a car and the door's shut. This also works for trunks and stuff as well. Stores all around the world that we have access to had bags in them that had like med kits and stuff. So that's like infinite possibilities as far as that goes for stores and stuff to have loot in them, which is awesome. Now, we came across this woman in the road that was just dying. She was hunched over and throwing up, and she just died on the road. So I really wanted to just add that in there because I thought that was different than I'd ever seen in any game ever. It just really kind of set the mood for a creepy, scary game. The first really difficult situation we got into, we'll introduce the veteran enemies. They have a purple health bar, which is kind of like they're armored. They're tougher than the normal enemies. This just shows how pretty it was when the sun came up. The nighttime was really eerie and really set the mood, and the daytime is just astonishing. It's reflective and it's beautiful.
Hey, bad news. I'm not gonna be able to get out there. Not with my goddamn leg like this. I'll do what I can from here, but it's not the same. You have no idea how much I wanted to be in the field. I trained for a scenario like this my entire life, but it's worse than anything we could have imagined. You know how they won't let you get too close to anyone, so it won't mess you up when you're finally activated? Well, I did that, and it didn't fucking work. I'm attached. These are my people. This is my city. We're taking it back. Oh.
Look, you need to...
Yeah, okay. Okay. They're counting on us. Let's not let them down.
We have secured our very own base of operations. We have a hub that is ours and ours only, so you don't share it with other people. You can upgrade it however you please, so that is awesome.
Sarah is pretty sure Dr. Gordon Amherst had something to do with the outbreak.
God. That asshole. Saw him present a paper at Columbia once. He nearly started a riot. He's part of this? I need to talk to him. Anything of his you can find. Notebooks, laptops, close personal friends, I need that too. And we need to talk about live samples and antibodies. You're gonna be busy.
And you'll be?
Fixing this. Saving lives. Now if you'll excuse me, I'll get started.
So far, the medical was my favorite. I'm all about supporting our teammates and stuff, so this just shows completing the quest that brings the doctor to the base, so now we can upgrade to level 2, which is the ability to heal our companions. So I thought that was really awesome. It comes in handy a lot. I mean, a lot. You would honestly be so surprised how often it comes in handy, whether you're in the dark zone or you're fighting, really tough enemies, but you have to be close to your partner. I'll show you later on in the video what I mean. This was really cool. With the cleaners, you can shoot their tanks and they blow up. So I thought that was really cool. The explosions look really good. These are contaminated areas. I'm not really sure what will come of them in the future, but I'm excited to see what lies ahead. This just really set the vibe for me. I don't know why I like the whole disease and everything in video games. I guess because of how real it is and how scary it is, but this just really set the mood. This is really intense. So I really wanted to add it. This is one of the parts that was just really astonishing to me. All the different bodies and caskets and stuff. There's a lot of co-op work, like you'll have to carry something and your friend will have to defend you. But in the case where if one of you gets down, the more they're hit while they're down, the faster their health goes down. So you really need to get them on behind cover. But as far as reviving them goes, you can actually revive them pretty quickly, so that's really efficient.
Oh shit, oh no.
The Dark Zone's walled off, and with good reason. It's where the infection hit hardest, to the point where no one, not us, not LMB, not anyone, could hold it. Now it's a no man's land, full of people willing to take their chances with the virus to get away from the factions in the streets. And what happens behind those walls, well, very little of it is good.
Now, this is us entering the Dark Zone. This is the really challenging part of the beta, because it's kind of every man for himself. As soon as you enter, there's a vendor that you can use the points and stuff that you earn while in the Dark Zone to buy armor and weapons and stuff like that. So that was really neat. Now, as far as the Dark Zone goes, there was a lot going on. I mean, a ton going on. I'm going to try to briefly go over everything I experienced. This is us first entering the Dark Zone.
Agent, your signal is getting weak.
Transmissions jammed. Proximity coverage only. Backup activated. System rebooted.
Okay, so there's these places where you're going to find other players that are wanting to send their loot off to your hub. The reason for this is because anything you find in the Dark Zone is contaminated and has to be sent back. So you'll find these bases where they're trying to wait for the helicopter to land to carry their loot back. There's a countdown, so as soon as that countdown reaches 0, the helicopter will land. But you really need to watch out, because as you see, when the helicopter landed for us, watch. A guy threw a grenade and killed everybody, or was attempting to kill everybody. So you really never know who's your friend and who's not. So it's really good to be on edge with that and really know who you're playing with, because if they kill you, well, they get your items. And that's what makes the Dark Zone so difficult. Now, what was really fun for me is we found 2 people and we were tracking them. So you can track enemies and kill them and take their loot. And, well, as long as you can get it back to your base in time. There's also these chests that are locked unless you reach a certain rank.
Your division affiliation has been
If you attack somebody without them being hostile first, you are considered rogue. Now, as you see, I'm getting burnt. Fire so far is OP. Very OP, even with the cleaners. Once you're down in the Dark Zone, you can either hold circle to give up, but when you do that, you also drop your loot. So anything you've found in the Dark Zone is dropped. There's also normal enemies in there, veteran enemies, as well as real players. So watch out for that as well. As you see, they drop loot as well as the other players that drop loot. You see it says group gone rogue. That's anybody in your group as if you initiate the attack, is considered going rogue.
Member of your team has disavowed division affiliation.
Now, I got really lucky and killed 3 people in a row, but you can actually melee while they're down, and it's like an insta-kill, so I thought that was really, it was really cool. That way you don't have to just keep shooting at them until they're dead. But once you've killed somebody in the Dark Zone, you pick up their equipment, but now that you have their equipment, you have to wait for the helicopter to come and take it back to your base. But to do that, you have to survive first. So I really hope you guys enjoyed my first impressions video of Tom Clancy's The Division open beta. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really, really look forward to this game. I think it's going to be great. So thanks guys, and I'll talk to you in the next episode.